gradually reduce the usefulness of cash until they can eradicate it completely. Every transaction you ever made tells something about your habits, your politics, your associations, your movements, your physical location. And on the one hand, all of this data gets collected and shared among all of the intelligence agencies and corporations, or leaked. And on the other hand, if the people in power choose to, they can decide to debank you overnight. They turn off the switch. Now imagine what happens if your bank account is shut down and cash doesn't exist. Well, you can't eat. You can't buy food. Done. You can't use transportation. You can't rent an apartment. They can literally destroy your life in a second. And if you think this is crazy, this is happening today in China. They have a system called Sesame. It's called a social credit score. And they use your social media postings to give everyone a score as to how well they toe the line of political correctness to the doctrine of the Communist Party. People who have a negative credit score on that system are denied access to public transportation. They're denied access to airlines, they're denied access to trains, they're denied access to jobs in the government, they're denied access to apartments to rent. They're doing that today. Now, today, those people have cash to go back on. What happens when there's no cash?
If you look at how the world's been acquired, it's been done by a banking scam where you lend people money that doesn't exist, we call it credit, and you charge them interest on it. If they don't pay the money back plus interest, then you get their wealth that does exist. You get their home, their business, their land, their resources, whatever. When you go to a bank and you say, borrow £50,000, they'll type into your account £50,000 in credit. Where's the credit come from? Here. But you're not paying back £50,000. You're paying back £50,000 plus interest. The interest is never created, only the principal. Because people think that governments create money. Money is overwhelmingly created by private banks issuing credit. That's how money comes into circulation. What this means is creating credit for the principal but not the interest is that at no point is there ever enough money in circulation to pay back all the debt and all the interest on the debt outstanding. So people losing their homes and their businesses and their resources, etc., is built into the system on purpose. Once you squeeze the money supply, you take money out of circulation, it becomes obvious that there's nothing like enough money in circulation to pay back all the debt. So there's people losing their homes, their resources, things that they own, for no other reason that there simply is not enough money for everyone to pay back the debt. So what do the banks do? Ooh, we'll have that. And this has been going on for centuries.
They say there's no inflation, but have you seen the price of food, real estate, and student loans, and medical? Now what's going to happen is the baby boomers, my generation, are going to start to retire. There's no money there. Social Security is broke, pensions are broke, the students are broke. They're screwing everybody with debt. This is called, not economics, this is called bubblenomics. But they'll never teach you this in school. Why doesn't our school teach us about money? Because Wall Street won't let them.
We know who they are. It's Christine Lagarde, her first deputy managing director, David Lipton, professors like Larry Summers and Ken Rogoff at Harvard, public intellectuals here in the UK, Adair Turner, Anatol Kaletsky, Mario Draghi, head of the European Central Bank. So it's a collection of central bankers, finance ministers, academics, think tankers, and public intellectuals, and several hundred of them around the world who collectively run the international monetary system. So then what about the hooded robes part? And the answer is they're like-minded individuals. They don't need top-down organization because they all agree with each other.
This very misguided idea that if you eradicate cash, you'll eradicate crime, which of course you won't because people will substitute cash with something else. And also, if the only people who are allowed to be intermediaries are the large corporations, they will commit the crime. It's like if you want to rob a bank nowadays, the best way to do so is to have a banking license. Then you can rob the entire bank and or country with complete immunity or impunity. So it encourages this concentration of power, puts the intermediaries in a position where they can commit what I call mega crimes. If you rob one person and steal 20 pounds from them, you're going to jail. And you're going to spend a long time there. If you rob 2 million people of their homes and mortgages, you're not going to jail. You're getting a 10 million bonus from the bank, and you're retiring in peace and quiet in the countryside.
They were going to get rid of cash. And look at it. Cash is flying out of circulation. In some places like Sweden, it's almost totally cashless. They're shutting down bank branches, so you cannot interact with a bank branch locally with cash. You have to do it online because that's electronic money. And eventually they're going to take cash out of circulation. Why? Because when you go into a store now or anywhere and you give them a credit card, electronic money, and they say, sorry, the system won't accept your card, well, you can still pay cash. But when there's no cash in circulation, your electronic money, which is meant to go through a microchip eventually, when they say the system won't accept your microchip or your card, you have no other means of purchase. So whoever controls the system is dictating whether you can purchase or whether you can't, whether you can eat or whether you can't. There couldn't be good things with things like Bitcoin and stuff like that, as long as cash stays in circulation. That's the key. While cash is in circulation, you have other points of ways of purchase. Once there's no cash and you have only cashless digital currencies, then whoever controls them controls everything. And not only that, they can wipe your bank account. If you're a dissident of the system, as this moves on into more extremes, they can wipe your bank account and it's just gone. Because all it is figures on a screen. You can wipe figures on a screen in a second.